Consumer Math Review, Take 2. Okay. First problem, Bob negotiates a car price of $17,500. He trades in his own car for $6,000. There's a 7% sales tax and a $70 fee for title registration. Find how much Bob owes. Okay, so his car itself is $17,500. And then I need to subtract the trade-in because that lowers the price. And that's $11,500. And then we have to add our sales tax and our registration cost. Now the sales tax is 7%, so I find 7% of this, take it times 0.07. Okay. 11,500 times 0.07 gives me $805. So he owes an $805 tax. 805, and I can add the 70. Okay, so I just add those together, 11,500 plus 805 plus 70, and I get $12,375. Okay, number 2, a person negotiates a car price of $15,400. He makes a $6,000 down payment. She's going to finance the rest using an APR of 12.6% over 3 years. Use your APR table to figure out the monthly payment. Once again, APR is a proportion. Okay, I need to turn the page in my packet and look at my APR table right here with cars. And it's 12.6% over 3 years, so $3.35. Now look above the table, and it says per 100. So 100 goes on the bottom. He's got to reap every month. He pays $335 per $100 he borrowed. Now I got to figure out how much he borrowed. Well, the car itself cost $15,400, but we already paid some of it, so I subtract the down payment, and that's $9,400. Okay, so 9,400 is going to go right here, and then I just cross multiply and divide. So 3.35 times 9,400 divided by 100, and that's going to be 314.9. I'm going to go up to 315. So every month he's got to pay that much for the next 3 years. Okay, when a new car was purchased, it was worth $18,000. The car depreciates or loses value at a rate of 6% each year. Find the car's value after 10 years. So its original value was $18,000 times. Now, don't just times it by 6% because it decreases by 6%. So 100% minus 6% is 94%, which is 0.94. Now, since that multiplication repeats, we need a power of 10. That just repeats it 10 times over. So not times 10, it's got to be to the 10th power. 18,000 times 0.94 to the power of 10. And I get $6,695. Who cares about the cents? Or sorry, $9,695. Okay, having fun yet? Number 4, a car drives 540 miles on 12 gallons of gas. If gas costs $2.03 per gallon, how much will a 750-mile trip cost? So I pay $2.03 for the gas, but that has to be times by the number of gallons. But I don't know how many gallons this trip costs. It says 12 gallons, but that was for a different trip, so I can use that as a ratio and put 540 miles, 12 gallons. Okay, so this upcoming trip is 750 miles, so I want to put 750 in the miles row, and I will cross multiply and divide to figure out how many gallons it takes. So 750 times 12 divided by 540, and that's 16.6, so I'm going to go up to 17 on that. So now I know there's going to be 17 gallons, where every one of those gallons costs $2.03. So I take 2.03 times 17. That's $34.51. Okay, now to get liability, it's 10, and then 10, 100, and then 100. I ignore the second number because that's if there's more than one person in the other vehicle. You'd have to worry about everybody's medical bills, so we just ignore that because there's only one person. You hit a $30,000 vehicle and total it. The other person's medical bills are $11,500. What will your out-of-pocket cost be if all you have is liability? So write this other guy's medical bills, $11,500, and then write his property. And you're going to do that down here too, because it's a case by case. That's the given information. So my insurance will pay up to $10,000. So I can subtract that, but if there's still a positive remaining, that means I got to pay it. Well, it's positive. It's $1,500. Okay, they'll pay up to $10,000 for the property. Well, 30 minus 10 is not a negative. That's $20,000. So I add these together, and it's $21,500. Oh yeah, another thing I need to add. With the full coverage, there's a deductible of $300. Okay, I'm just adding that to the problem. Okay, full coverage. Now they'll pay up to $100,000 for the medical. Well, that minus that's a negative, so that means that's covered. And then $100,000. They'll pay up to $100,000. Well, there'd be no more left on that either. All you'd have to pay is your $300 deductible. Now, getting this costs a higher premium, but it's a lot better if I get in an accident to have this. Okay, fill in the blank time. When you ask your insurance company for payment in case of trouble, you're making a claim. Your contract you sign with your insurance agents is called your policy. The amount of money you pay in case of trouble before your insurance company will pay the rest. Well, here I got in trouble. They paid all the money, but I had to pay this. What's that called? It's called your deductible. Insurance that pays for damage to your own car is called the comp and collision. And by the way, we can cross out deductible. Now, comp and collision you do not have to have. It's a lot cheaper if you don't have it, but if you get in an accident, it's your fault, you're SOL. The older the car, you'd probably get this drop because your car's not worth much. Any fault you have is someone else being injured is called the liability. The amount of money you must pay each year for car insurance is known as your premium. And any benefits is known as coverage. Okay, and that wraps that up. Okay, now on to housing. What a person pays for housing should not be over 20% of their paycheck. So number 8 says, if Sarah's monthly pay is $3,500, what's the most she wants to spend each month on housing? Well, it needs to be the rules 20% times what you make in a month. Well, she makes $3,500, so I multiply those. So 0.20 times 3,500, I believe it's 700. Okay, so that's pretty expensive housing. She makes good money. She can afford to make a $700 payment every month. I personally pay $491 for my housing loan every month. Okay, a house had a value of $66,200. The home's increasing in value by 4% per year. Find the home's value after 5 years. So I've got $66,200 times, like the car, but this is an increase by 4%, so you don't want to use 4. You want to add 4 to it, and that's 104%. Well, if I use that in the equation, that's 1.04. And that repeats every year for 5 years, so to the 5th power. Okay, I got $80,542. Okay, number 10. Home is purchased for $105,000. The buyer made a 20% down payment. And I'm going to put a little 80% here because that's how much that we didn't pay, 100 minus 20. Okay, they finance the rest on an APR of 14% over 25 years. So I don't want to use that table. I need to use my home mortgage table right here. And I know that's always proportional. So 14% over 25 years. So here's 14 and here's 25. So you got to pay back $12.04 every month per $1,000 that you borrowed. Okay, now I don't put 105,000. You had 105,000, but you paid 20%, so you have to pay 80%. So you times it by 0.80 to find out what 80% of that is. So 105,000 times 0.80, and I get 84,000. Okay, so that's how much I'm going to be borrowing from these guys. Okay, so 12.04 times 84,000. Divided by 1,000. 1,011. Okay. It's a pretty high payment to make every month. Hope this guy's making a lot of money. Okay, number 11. A person owns property worth $120,000. The property tax rate is $3.30 per $100 of property value. Find the property tax. So that means it's proportional. So 3.30 per $100 of property you own. Well, you actually own 120,000. So you cross multiply and divide. So 3.30 times 120 grand divided by 100, 3,960. Okay, number 12. A house is insured for replacement value of $92,000. What's the coverage for the cost of living expenses? So this is homeowners insurance. Really easy problem. Living expenses, well, it says that that's going to be 20% because you have to have a place to live while it's being repaired. So we need to find 20% of this because they're going to give me that for my house itself, but then there's other things that need to be accounted for. So 92,000 times 0.20, 18,400 is how much I can expect to receive to live on. Okay, number 13, a room's floor measures 20 by 23 feet. The ceiling's 15 feet high. We need to paint 4 walls in the room. Each gallon of paint covers 400 square feet and costs $18 per gallon. Find the cost of the paint job. Okay, so let's get these walls drawn. Best if I can see it. And the ceiling is 15 feet. And that's going to be in the whole room. And this 20 by 23 means 2 of the walls have a base 20 and then 23, 23. Okay, so that's going to be 300. And that's going to be, by the way, here's the deal. I need to find my cost, and that's $18, but I don't know how many gallons it costs because it's $18 per gallon. Well, to find the gallons, you're going to need to know how many square feet because it said there's 400 square feet for 1 gallon of paint. Okay, and then I keep multiplying 300, and then I take 15 times 23. That's 345. And that's 345. Now add up those together, and that tells you the amount of square feet, the amount of space you have to paint. That's how they measure space on a wall, is in square feet or square units. Okay, 1,290 square feet. Now, that enables me to find the gallons because I know, okay, a gallon will cover 400 square feet. So I need to figure out how many 400s are in 1,290. Looks to me like there's 3.225, but that means I need 4 gallons. 3 won't be enough, so I got to times by 4, and that's $72. Okay, now this one you're going to do a monthly payment on a loan without the benefit of the APR table. You just follow these directions. Okay, follow the steps to find the monthly payment for the car. So the price of it was $19,000, and we made a down payment of $7,500, and the loan rate was 5% over 5 years. So first, subtract to find the amount owed. Well, that's kind of a duh. Okay, that leaves me with $11,500. Now take your percent and move the decimal twice to the left. That means just make it 0.05 and then multiply by the years. So 0.05 times 5. 0.25. So I'm going to write that. 0.05 times 5 equals 0.25. Add 1 to this product, so plus 1. That's 1.25. And multiply this amount by what I got on step 1. Okay, so I'm just going to take these and times them. So $11,500 times 1.25, $14,375. Now, what I have here is the total amount I have to pay them, but I want to divide it up into equal monthly payments. So I got to divide. Now, how many months would be in 5 years? Well, I need to times that by 12. Okay, 5 times 12 is 60. So $14,375 is how much money I have to pay back, and I'm going to pay it the same amount of every month over 60 months. And that's 230 to be 240. It's close enough to 240. Okay, convert 2 square feet to square inches. We know there's 12 inches to a foot. So 12 inches, 1 foot, but these are square units, so we need to square the labels and the values. Well, this will stay at 1, but this now goes to 144. And it says 2 square feet, so I need to put that in the feet row across from the 1. So I take 144 times 2 divided by 1, and it's 288 square inches. Okay, exchange rate. Convert $100 of U.S. money to French currency. Now, $1 of U.S. money is actually equal to 91 cents in France money. So the France money is more valuable. So 1 U.S. and 0.91 France. So we got the U.S. row and the French row. 100 U.S. would go here, and then I'd cross multiply and divide. Okay, that would give me 91. Okay, number 17. If you buy 35 of a product for $22 each, turn around and sell it for $30 each, what's your profit? So there's buy. On a profit, we always look at the buy, look at the sell, and then the profit. And then you need to put whether you made money or lost money. So I spent $22 and I sold for $30. So that means I'm going to make money, okay? As far as how much, well, you're buying 35 and then you sell all 35 at a higher price. 22 times 35 is 770. 30 times 35 is 1,050. And then I just find the difference by subtracting them. So I minus them. 1,050 minus 770. $280. So I make $280. Okay, number 18. If you buy 40 of a product for $50 each, turn around and sell for $35 each, what's your profit? So buy, sell, and profit. Okay, so I bought it for $50. I'm going to sell it for $35. So that means I lost money on this one. And then I'm buying 40 of the product and I'm selling 40 of the product. Okay, so this is going to be 2,000, and then 35 times 40, 1,400. So now find the difference, and you lost $600. Okay, number 21, an individual's net income is $36,000. The individual takes a pay freeze, but with the rate of inflation at 1%, what's this person's purchasing power going to be? Now, inflation causes this money here, this $36,000, to lose value, so I minus. But to figure out what I minus, I need to find 1% of 36,000, so I times by 0.01. And that's 360. So 36,000 minus 360, 35,640. Okay, number 22. I have $800 invested in a 6-month certificate deposit. Calculate my interest. Now, there's a table to use for the certificates of deposits and savings bonds, and it's on this page here. So, it's really simple. It's just your principal, which is 800, times your rate. So, 6-month rate's 5.44. You don't just write 5.44, though. You need to divide 5.44 by 100. Here, I'll even write it. Makes sense. It's like 0.05 with 44 added on behind it. And multiplied by the time, but the time has to be expressed in years because it says annual. Well, 6 months is not a full year, so I need to put a 12 under it. Why 12? Because there's 12 months in a year. 0.5. Divided 6 by 12. So I take 800 times 0.0544 times 0.5, and I get $21.76 of interest. Okay, number 23, I have $1,000 invested in a 5-year certificate of deposit. After that period is over, I reinvest it for another 5 years. Find the total interest earned. So the reinvestment is 2 parts. We take our principal times the 5-year interest rate is 5.92. So I need to divide 5.92 by 100. And that's 0.0592. And then the 5 is in years, so times 5. I don't need to make that into a fraction. It's in years. 1,000 times 0.0592 times 5. I got 296. It's pretty good interest. But when I reinvest it, I reinvest these two together, so I'm going to add, and that's 1,296, and then I multiply by the same interest rate by the same time. So 1,296 times 0.0592 times 5, and that's $383.62. Now, you need to add the interest rates over the 2 periods. So 296 plus 383.62, and that's $679.62. Okay, number 24, I have $500 worth of savings bonds I've held for 7 years. Calculate my interest if I turn them in now, and it lays the steps out for you. So the buying price of the bonds is half of their face value, so I divide that by 2, and that's 250. Okay, to find the number of bonds you acquired, you take that 500 again, but look at your savings bond table. It says they're $50 bonds. So if I have $500 worth, how many 50s are in 500? Well, I think 10. Okay, so return. So the rate of return, I held them for 7 years. So the 7-year rate of return is $41.86. But I get that for every bond I take back to them. Okay, well, I brought back 10 bonds, so I times 10. That's $418.60. Okay, now this is what they give me back, but they're also part of that, a partial amount of that is just them giving me my money back. So my interest, I take 418.6, and minus how much of it is just my money back, $250. Okay, 168.6, so $168.60. Okay, and 25. If I roll a coin 5 times, how many results can occur? Now, how many sides a coin have? 2. You can times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2, 5 factors of 2, or you can just take 2 to the 5th. That's 32. I mean, I can get heads, heads, tails, tails, heads. That's only one possibility. Heads, they could all be heads. That's 2, okay, and so forth. Okay, number 26. Find the possibility of drawing a spade on 2 straight draws from a deck of cards. I'm going to put the first card I draw back in the deck. So there's 2 draws. A deck has 52 cards. Now, I'm going to put the first card back in the deck, so there's 52. So we have 13 spades to draw from, and even if I draw one, I'm going to put it back, so there's going to be 13 again. So that's 169 divided by 2,704. Now, when calculating probability, you divide, but then you want to times by 100 and gets my percent. So that equals 6.25%. Okay, number 27, calculate the possibility of drawing a 5 or a 6 on 2 straight draws from a deck of cards. I will not put the first card I draw back in the deck. So 52, but if you're not going to put it back, there's going to be 51. Now, you have 4 5s and 4 6s, so there's 8 total of the numbers you want to draw. But if you draw it, you don't put it back. So when you go on the second one, there's 7. So that's 56, and then this is 2652. So 56 divided by 2652 times 100 is 2.1. You wouldn't want to bet your life on it. Okay, number 28, cross out 31. Okay. There are 5 people in a race. How many possible finishes, first through 5th, are possible? So we have 5, and we're going to take all places, okay? All places. So that's 5 factorial, 5 exclamation, and I just take 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And that equals 120. There are 12 people in a race. How many possible finishes of first and second are possible? So I see these words. So I have 12, sorry. I'm going to take 2, and those 2 are ranked, okay? They're being placed. So I want to use the P, the permutation. So I go 12, 2. And then what I really want is the 10 losers out of there. So, but I want these 2 to be ranked. So I do not want to put that in my ratio. It's just 12 factorial divided by 10 factorial, which is really just 12 times 11, because the 10 factorials would stop and then they could be canceled out. That's 132. Okay, number 30, there are 17 people in a swimming race. The top 3 finishers move on to the districts. How many combinations of swimmers can move on to the districts? So I have 17, and I'm going to take 3, but I don't have to rank them first, second, third, so they're not ranked. Well, then it's a combination of C's, so 17, 3, and 14. And on a combination, on a permutation, just these 2. Because you want these ranked. Well, I don't want anybody ranked. So 17, and you put both these guys on bottom because neither one of the groups is ranked. 17, 16, 15, and 14. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm going to parentheses 17 times 16 times 15, close it, divided by 3 times 2 times 1, close it, 680. Pretty impressed with myself. I got done in under 30 minutes.